time for the real nigga roll call. Now when you hear your city or state being called, what? Put your motherfucking middle finger up in this bitch.
Oh, y'all know about this? Oh, lucky I can't listen to it. This nigga is crazy. Hey, that's your boy. All right, all right, all right. I don't know if we can listen to this on this channel, so I'm gonna keep it real simple. Hey. All right. First and foremost, want to give call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. That's all praise to the Most High God. In the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach in the Hebrew. We coming today again with another segment from the couch Captivity created. You know what I'm saying? I came up with that name. You know what I'm saying? Other brothers will call it the Captivity couch. They should get slapped for it. Don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? What I want to read something because I got this thing I'm about to start doing. I want to go into the cause of black on black crime, and or at least what they call black on black crime. You know, because I was talking to my rib and I was just like, what was the cause of the violence in mass numbers in which the so-called black and Hispanic man are doing to each other and to themselves, right? And what was the effect? So the cause, in my personal opinion, would be integration. In my personal opinion, integration was the cause of the violence, the mass violence between blacks and Hispanics, and that is the effect of the mass violence of the blacks and Hispanics, right? So, you know, I have this thing that we did a little bit of research on it. It says more blacks were killed by other blacks in 1977 than died in the entire 9-year Vietnam War. More, think about that. 1977. Like, we know we had the 20s. What was it? The Roaring 30s? The Roaring 20s, right? Roaring 20s. Hey, you was born around that time. Yeah. The Roaring 20s, right? Hold on. The Roaring 20s. And then you had, so what was going on? You had the 30s came into play. Or I should say, let's start with 1917. 1917, I watched a movie about the 24th Infantry that it was in a place called Houston. I don't know if it was Houston, Texas, but it was a place called Houston, and they were all black infantry. And all they wanted to do was go to France to fight for America. But due to racism and discrimination, they weren't able to go. So what ended up happening is, in this movie, people were attacking them, and they felt like, and some white dude stabbed a black man and killed him, and then the brother who was in the military arrested the white dude and took him to the white police, and tried to give him over, right? And which they accepted him, but then what ended up happening is he was still released later on. So that black man that was killed, nothing happened to the person that killed him. But they heard, these white mobs was going to come into the neighborhood because of all of the white mobs that were coming into these areas, killing black folks and such, right? This has always been happening, right? Look at Black Wall Street. Look at Rosewood. You understand? There's many more white mobs going into black towns, killing black folks as a fear tactic, especially 1912, the KKK came about. Was it 1912? No, it might have been earlier, right? Nah, it had to be earlier than that. It had to be earlier than that. But watch. So these black military men from the 24th Infantry went into the town and killed every police officer, shot multiple white folks, and the only thing they had a problem with was military police was coming down the street and they shot them by mistake because it was nighttime, right? And they shot them by mistake. And guess what? 19 of those 50 something men got hung or was lynched about 2-3 months later, and the rest of the men spent life in prison for their mutiny and riot, right? So we're talking about that's 1917. And you know how many years of white mobs coming into black towns. Like I always tell this story about uh, Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Black Wall Street. And I read this thing about this man that was in the military, and he was standing on his stoop on his front yard when all this was going on, and he had on his military outfit, his military garment, right? Thinking that because he fought for America or wanted to represent America, that everything would be all right, that it wouldn't be a problem, that he would get a free pass. But no, they came there and they still shot him, right? They still shot him. And here's the sad part. After they killed those blacks, after they robbed those blacks, after they raped the women, after they did all these things, guess what those blacks that survived had to do? They had to go to those same white people to get clothes, right? Now they're in poverty because they don't have a house, because the house is burnt, because they were bombing houses, right? So I say that to say this, right? Integration, in my belief, is the start of when blacks and Hispanics started killing each other on large amounts. Why? Because after the 1940s, 1950s, going into the 1960s, then you have Jim Crow, and now they're telling you can't drink out of this and you can't drink out of that, and you can't piss here and piss there. You can't sit at the counter. So black folks wanted to be a part of that. They wanted to know that because we've done everything for this country, we should be able to sit at your counter. We should be able to eat the white only pie, right? Eddie Murphy and them made a joke about it because you know what they said. You know what I'm saying? You got to go somewhere else to get a nigger pie. This is a white only pie. You say, well, how much can I pay you to make that white only pie a nigger pie, right? So that's how we were raised. That's how we came up after slavery in 1865 was abolished, and then or the Emancipation Proclamation. Then you have racial discrimination. Then you have Jim Crow. Then you come into the 1970s. And who was in the 1970s? Black Panthers, right? And who tore that down? JFK. I mean J. Edgar Hoover, right? The head of the FBI. Same person that was tapping Martin Luther King phone, tapping all them black leaders' phones, right? Trying to find something on them. Because you have to understand, we are the Israelites of ancient. Because what do you think Egypt tried to do? We got to make sure we put these brothers in hardcore bondage before they rise up with our enemies and come together to overthrow us. So every time you would see a black man come into some position of leadership, they knew they would have to dismantle that. And after you dismantle the Black Panthers, what did you have next that came up? The Bloods and the Crips, right? So, and guess what? If you all haven't watched Black Panther or Panthers, the movie, right? It tells you towards the end, after they dismantled it, they threw the drugs into the neighborhood. So now you got brothers fighting each other over how to make money. because they knew in these inner cities you wasn't going to have no bunch of jobs. There wasn't no lucrative income coming in unless you were still slaving. You got to remember, even after slavery, it was against the law to not have a job. You telling me for 400, you telling me for all them years when you was picking cotton for free, and now what? The prison industrialism, the prison industrialization. Say it, man.
Industrial complex.
Thank you. Now you're dealing with the prison system, right? And what do you make when you're in prison? What, 25 cents a day if you're working? 50 cents a day if you're working? If you're working. So if you're not working, then what are you taking home once you finally release? I remember when I was locked up in ICE detention, I think I took home like maybe about $6. I decided to work in the kitchen because I needed something to preoccupy my time. You understand? And I was only there for 3 weeks. So, you know, you try and find stuff to do, right? But at the end of the day, instead of sitting in some cell all damn day, right? But, oh yes, I was in ICE detention. So I knew about the Northern Kingdom before I came into this truth, because I looked at them like human beings and not like animals, not like pieces of crap, right?
That's right.
When other people that, I ain't from California. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Florida. And I grew up around Hispanics because I grew up in Miami, the Cubans, right? When I got to California, you know, you hear people, when I came into this truth, you hear people talking about Hispanics saying Israelites because of what? When you sitting on that bus heading to that detention center, FCC, Florence Correctional Center, and you see them passing around that jug of water and everybody's drinking that jug of water, you telling me they ain't going through something? You telling me when the police go to your job, because you live in Arizona, they go to your job and they see an Hispanic in that job, and they can walk up to that person and be like, let me see your papers. Like a nigga's supposed to be walking around with damn papers to justify that I'm supposed to be working or something. You a fool to walk around with your social security card. But I'm gonna walk around with my birth certificate or something? So you have to understand, like, I noticed this stuff from that time, right? So once again, you know, we dealing with I'm gonna start doing this thing where I'm going into the whole, what was the cause of the black on black crime? Because the black on black crime is the effect of something. Something happened, and that's why we are at where we're at today. That's why brothers from Oak Block is shooting other brothers. That's why brothers from Compton are shooting other brothers. That's why Long Beach is warring. You understand? That's why we doing these things. And until we find the root of the matter, we won't understand how to get to the conclusion and the come on now, talk, man. What's the word I'm looking for, man? Solution.
Solution.
What Hitler call it? The solution?
Man.
He was on the right path, man. My bad. All right. So after we go through all this, guess what, man? We got salvation to look forward to, right? Let me get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18.
And what?
Watch this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, and verse.
What, the world?
No. We're gonna read verse 6 and 7, but I'm also get it in a different translation. going. Oh shoot, yeah. Wisdom of Solomon, 18, verse 6 and verse 7.
You wanted the KJV first?
Sure, Baba Kusha.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 6. Of that night were our fathers certified afore, that assuredly, knowing unto what oaths they had given credence, they might afterwards be of good cheer. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteousness and destruction of the enemies.
Hey, and destruction of our enemies, right? When did this happen? This was the first Exodus. This was the first Egypt, right? Now read it in the Good News Translation, verse 6 and verse 7.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 6 and 7 in the Good News Translation. But our ancestors had been told in advance of what would happen that night.
Because they were already aware of what was going to happen, right? Go ahead.
So that they would be cheered and encouraged by confident trust in your promise to them.
See, once again, we went over this the other day. Those promises, man. You were promised to be saved. So you think you're not going to be promised to get up out of this captivity? It was already written that you would be saved out of this captivity. Go ahead.
Your people knew that you would rescue the righteous nation and destroy their enemies.
And do what?
And destroy their enemies.
So through our salvation, the other nations get destroyed, right? The other nations get spoiled, right? Robbed. You understand? Now, let's get Exodus 14 and 13, Baba Kusha. But then someone's going to tell you that salvation is for everybody. But once again, you just don't see that in the passages. You don't see that anywhere in the Bible.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians, whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
See, that's how that worked. And you ain't never seen them Egyptians no more. You ain't never see them in power no more. You were never enslaved in Egypt anymore. When you walked out of there, that was it. When you come up out of America, that's it. You ain't got to deal with this no more. Read that again.
It's the book of Exodus 14 and 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord.
Fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Read.
Which he shall show to you today. For the Egyptians, whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
You shall see them again no more forever. Watch this. Let me get Job 20. And start at verse 4. Baba Kusha. I'm going right back to salvation, but I gotta show you that these people that are in power, these people that have their foot on your neck, literally and figuratively, will never be in power again, and you won't see them ever again. One day, right? Let me know when you got it.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Job, chapter 20.
Let me see.
And verse 4.
Con, you start there.
Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth?
Since man was placed upon earth, what?
That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
That the power of wickedness is only for a time. The Most High say he put the earth in the basis of men's hands, right? The lowest of men, right? Go ahead.
And the joy of the wicked, Salakia, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
Because they done told you, watch this. I don't smoke weed, right? But they done told you you can't smoke weed. Then they put your ass in jail. Then they legalize weed while your ass sitting in jail. Okay. That's a hypocrite. That's a hypocrite. Let me tell you something. Once again, I had this conversation with the Rib. I said, I was listening to I think it was Paul Mooney, and I said to myself, when did the white man decide that he would be the moral compass for the earth?
Right.
From tar and feather, lynching, cutting off black and Hispanic privy parts, wrongful imprisonment, mass murder, mass incarceration, killing every animal on the planet. When and what year did they say to themselves, you know what, we got the answers now? Because they damn sure walk around like they got the damn answers. They'll take your kids from you because they know how to raise the damn kids. But only white kids are shooting up flipping schools. But they know how to raise them. They know how to teach you how to raise your children. They know how to instill. They know how to tell you these things matter while not doing the same thing. That's a flipping hypocrite. Why do you think the Most High? Why do you think the Most High spoke about that in the scriptures, right? Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men. Because people will tell you one thing. That's why he said, don't do what the Pharisees tell you to do, but don't do after them.
Right. Do as they say.
Yeah, not as they do. Man, let me tell you, man. Hey, more lessons to come, more videos to come. I get heated when I talk about these things, so you know they're gonna be fire, man. Let's go. Let's keep going. Keep reading that.
In Job.
Khan, Baba Kusha, Korah.
Job 20:5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens.
See, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, right? Though his power is so mighty, right? Go ahead.
And his head reach unto the clouds.
That's pride. When your head is up there, it's pride. When your head reach up to the clouds, go ahead.
Yet he shall perish forever.
Yet he shall what?
Yet he shall perish forever.
Go ahead.
Like his own dung.
Like his own dung. Go ahead.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
That's what we're going to say in that day. We're going to say that. Where is he? Right? It ain't like we ain't going to see Asian people when we ruling. Hamites, East Indians. We're going to see all them. But guess who we not going to see? Read it again.
Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Go ahead.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream.
He shall fly away as a dream. When you pass out and you dreaming, man, you wake up, that dream gone. Go ahead.
And shall not be found. Yea.
What you gonna do? Dream about the same thing? Have that same dream? Bring that dream back? That's it on that?
Yea. He shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
That's it on that, right? Con. So you gotta understand, man. Although you're going through this affliction right now, rest assured, there's gonna be a day where you won't have to worry about these people no more, man. Where you won't have to go through this no more. Right? And we long for that day. But until then, you have to rejoice in your affliction. You have to smile when you're down. You have to praise the Most High when you're going through hardships. Because if you ain't going through it, then how are you a son? How are you a daughter? How are you his seed? The father chasteneth his children. Right? You got children, but you don't understand that. Right? So you got to know what you're dealing with. You got to know what the Most High dealing with. Let me get Romans 13:11. Baba Kusha. Kuda. Make sure you let Lahat know where we live at. Baba Kusha. Go ahead.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Now it's high time to awake out of sleep. Who shall rouse Judah up? Protesting ain't gonna do nothing for y'all. Rioting ain't gonna do nothing for us. Let me show you, man. Let me show you. Truth be told, every time y'all do that, y'all need to prepare yourselves for another black man dead, another black sister dead, another Hispanic brother dead, another Hispanic sister dead. You got to prepare yourselves for that, because all we doing is showing them that we can't organize in reality, because we're trying to organize with our enemies. You got to go to the white man to get permission to go on that street. You got to go to the laws. You got to go to Johnny Law. Go ahead, man.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
See, because now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Now is it on its way. Like I tell you, man, hey, by the grace of the Most High, I've been in what we call the truth for 4 going on 5 years. It's easy to assume that you're only going to be in this for another year or a couple months and then you get rescued. Get that shit out your mind. Get that shit out your mind. You got to endure until the end. This is about longevity. You got to endure. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Once you get off that bike, you got to swim. After you're done swimming, you got to get on the rock climbing. After you're done with the rock climbing, you got to go to the shooting range. After the shooting range, you got to go back inside that cold water. Because it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be simple. It ain't going to be the nicest thing you've gone through. The truth ain't easy, man. The truth is very important for your soul. And because it's so important for your livelihood, everything out there is supposed to deter you from it. Women, drugs, alcohol, the white man, the Asian man, the African man. Everything is out there designed to stop you from your salvation. And you got to be 10 toes down. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is your foundation. That's what you building off of. He was the cornerstone that the builders refused. Y'all got to be the brothers and sisters that say to yourselves, I will not refuse Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Niggas is going back to OT only. What the hell is on y'all mind? Who taught you this?
Right.
Niggas tell you that other people ain't Israelites and this and who taught y'all that? Because if it wasn't for the brothers on them blocks putting that time in 110-degree weather, you wouldn't know nothing.
That's right.
In 40 degrees below, you wouldn't know nothing. So understand, man, y'all gotta check yourself, man. Y'all gotta check what y'all purpose is. Y'all gotta check what y'all doing this for. Cause I don't make money doing this. I don't get riches on earth for teaching y'all the truth. I ain't shit. I ain't shit, and I guarantee you ain't none of these niggas in here shit. But that's why it keeps us grounded and humble when we remind ourselves of these things. So until we get that salvation, which is nearer than we ever can believe, we got to stay on the point. Right? That's it on that? Con. Let me get Luke chapter 1 and start at verse 67. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and 67.
Because somebody said the prophets are gone. Somebody said ain't no more prophets. Someone said ain't no prophets in the New Testament.
Okay.
I had the jaw on them. You know that?
Hey.
You got punched on live, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1 and 67.
Go ahead.
And his father, Zacharias, was filled with the Holy Ghost.
Go ahead. Who's Zacharias? John the Baptist pops, right? Go ahead.
And prophesied, saying,
he prophesied. Read.
Blessed be the Lord, God of Israel.
Uh-huh.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Go ahead.
And hath raised up an horn of salvation.
See, this is our Redeemer. Christ is our Redeemer, right? Remember, Deuteronomy 28:68, and no man shall buy you. When you go into the Hebrew, when you go into the understanding of the word buy, it means to redeem. When do you redeem your brother? When he's sold into something and then you trying to get him back.
Okay.
That's when you redeem your brother. But Martin Luther King couldn't redeem us. Malcolm X couldn't redeem us. The Black Panthers couldn't redeem us. Bloods and Crips and the Yetas and Vice Lords and Spanish Cobras and 2-6s, they couldn't redeem us.
Okay.
Go ahead. But Christ is our Redeemer. But guess what? Until we're in the New Jerusalem, you in captivity, buddy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Luke 1:69. And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets. Go ahead.
Which have been since the world began. That we would be saved from our enemies.
From the world began, it was written that you shall be saved from your enemies. And what?
And from the hand of all that hate us.
And from the hand of all them that hate us. Keep going.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
What? To perform the mercy what?
Promised to our fathers.
Promise to our fathers. A promise. Go ahead.
And to remember his holy covenant. That the oath which he sware to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies.
We need deliverance. We need deliverance. Go ahead.
Might serve him without fear.
Because our purpose for being created was to serve the Most High. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. Deuteronomy 28:1. That's all you had to do. Hearken unto the voice of the word. Hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and do what is commanded of you. That's it. That's it on that.
In holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life.
That's it on that, right? Let me get Matthew 22:11. No, John 4:22.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It's the book of John, chapter 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Now watch this. See, because y'all think, read it again.
This is John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Now watch this. Now watch this. Let's get the blue letter. You can do it on here. Now can you hear me? Go. No, you good. 4:22. I want, of at the very bottom. Of right there. Go ahead.
This is Strong's G1536.
For salvation is of the Jews. Watch this.
Ek. Root word, a primary preposition denoting origin. The point of whence action or motion proceeds. From, out.
From, out, what?
Of place, time, or cause, literal or figurative.
Out. So salvation comes out of the Jews, right? Who is the Jew that's giving you salvation? Yahweh Shai. You understand? Simple stuff, man. That's it on that.
Hold on. This is the biblical usage.
Go ahead.
Out of, from, by, away from.
Out of the Jews. Why? Because your king is a Jew. Hebrews 7:14. Get that. Let me know when he got it.
Go
ahead.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. And it is yet far more evident.
So read it again.
Salakia. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
It is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. For salvation is out of the Jews. That's it on there, right? Finish it if you're gonna finish it.
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Because he's a priest of the order of Melchizedek, right? Melchizedek.
Okay.
Right? Let me get Matthew 22 and 11.
We got it. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there was a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
He wasn't prepared. Go ahead.
Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen.
Many are called, but few are chosen. That's it on that?
Okay.
Read it again.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither?
How'd you get in here? How'd you get in here? This ain't for you. Just like when Christ said, a brother might say, I prophesied in your name. I heal brothers. And what did Yahweh Shai say? I have not known you. I don't know who you is, nigga. Go ahead.
How camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That part. Now watch this. Let me get Baruch 4. I'll let you know, King. I tell you, I don't know about no Baruch 4, man. I don't know about no Baruch, man. It's my book. It's my book, right? All right. Let's get Baruch 4. And we're going to start at 21.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, 21. Be of good cheer, O my children.
This is your mother talking to y'all. Be of good cheer, my children. Go ahead.
Cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies.
Cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you out of the power and the hand of your enemies. Go ahead.
For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you.
That you will be saved. Read.
And joy is come unto me from the Holy One.
Go ahead.
Because of the mercy which shall soon come upon you.
That mercy that was promised. Read.
From the everlasting our Savior. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
That's your mother. That's your homeland. For Jerusalem is the mother of us all. I don't know if y'all knew that, but go ahead. That's what it's referencing. Go ahead.
Baruch 4:23. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity.
See, all those nations saw our captivity. Don't let them fool you. They saw you going into slavery. What nation has come to America to save your ass? What nation has come out of whatever they're dealing with to get you out, to help you out, to liberate you? Go ahead.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God.
Soon they're going to see your salvation,
which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
And brightness of the everlasting. Keep reading.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God.
Now that's what y'all got to remember to do. You have to suffer patiently the wrath that has come unto us. That's what we got to do. You can't be quick to get up out of this. You got to deal with it. You just coming into the truth. You know how much years of back pay you owe?
Fact.
You done built up a bill of all the wickedness that y'all done did. Now you want to get saved? I wouldn't be surprised if the Most High give you another 30 years in this. We got bills, man. We got a debt.
Right.
Hey, he's the debt collector. Go ahead.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction.
What you should see?
Thou shalt see his destruction.
Soon enough, we're going to see his destruction. Babylon for fall. Babylon for dead. Go ahead.
And shalt tread upon his neck.
Y'all gonna get to tread upon his neck. You see how them roles get reversed? Go ahead.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways.
That's what we've done, man. We've gone rough ways. We've decided to live the lifestyle that we've decided to live. It was predestined for us to go that direction. Go ahead.
And were taken away as a flock caught of the enemy. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
See, the Most High brought these plagues upon you. So you got to be of good cheer. You got to take it. You got to take it for what it is. I mean, it's the least y'all could do. He gonna save you.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be at peace one day. It just might not be today.
Hey.
Go ahead.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned.
Now that you're returned unto the Most High, do what?
Seek him 10 times more.
That part. Go ahead.
For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee the name will comfort thee.
He that gave you the name will comfort you. Because what is Jerusalem? It's about peace, man. That's where Salem came from, right? That's where Melchizedek come from, right? He was the king of Salem, right?
Okay.
Peace. Go ahead.
Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons.
Hey, these nations gonna be miserable, because that's where y'all at. In all them nations that we sitting in, they're gonna be miserable. We the sons that they received.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall,
Because with our fall came their uprising. Go ahead.
so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
That's the mother of harlots, man. That's America. She gonna be grieved for her desolation. Go ahead.
For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
That part. That pride of hers, the greatest country on the planet, will be turned into mourning. Go ahead.
For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs.
Long to endure.
It just seems like Firefly. I know that ain't the song. Go ahead.
And she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time.
Go ahead.
O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east.
We gotta look toward the east. What Buju say? I know the east is the best. Yes, always be depressed. There's no life in the west. You in the west. You in the western hemisphere. Go ahead.
And behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God.
And what?
And behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God.
Go ahead.
Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away.
Soon enough, we gonna come back. Go ahead.
They come gathered together from the east, to the west.
To the west. Go ahead.
By the word of the Holy One.
Go ahead.
Rejoicing in the glory of God.
Rejoicing in the glory of the Most High, man. So we got some time, man. We gonna, this is just what we gotta go through. The hard times. We gotta push through it. Ain't no time to be giving up. Right? Let's get Psalm 53 and 6. Y'all better read Baruch, boy.
On that part.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 53 and 6. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion.
Yep.
When God bringeth back the captivity of his people.
That means when he takes that captivity away from them. When he takes them up out of captivity. Read that again from the top.
Oh, that salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice.
He shall what?
Jacob shall rejoice.
That part.
And Israel shall be glad.
And Israel shall be glad. Yasharallah shall be happy, man, in that day. When he take back this captivity from us. Khan. Well, if you want to get in, get in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just coming to do something real quick. Don't mind me.
Khan, do what you do. Do what you do.
Yeah,
Let's get Exodus 66. No. Yeah, Exodus 66. Khan.
Book of Exodus, chapter 6, verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
Right now, y'all in some burdensome times. Y'all been under the hand of y'all enemies, man. Y'all been under the hand of spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom. Right? Read it.
And I will rid you out of their bondage.
And he will take us up out of this bondage. And what people say, we ain't got shackles on our arms and on our legs or around our neck no more, but guess where they at? It's in your mind.
Come.
Go ahead.
And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm.
Hey, that's that redemption. He'll redeem you.
Come.
That redeemer. Go ahead.
And with great judgment.
And with great judgment. Because why? When he redeem us, he coming with them great judgments. He going to be banging hard. You know what I'm saying? He going to come banging hard. That's it on that, right?
Let me get 7.
Go ahead.
And I will take you to me for a people.
Hey, and then we're going to be a people again, up under the Most High. Go ahead.
And I will be to you a God. And ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. Which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Now let's get Deuteronomy 9 and 29.
We there.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9 and 29. Yet they are thy people and thine inheritance.
We are the inheritance of the Lord. Go ahead.
Which thou broughtest out by the mighty power and by thy stretched out arm.
So when we getting saved up out of here, it's going to be with mighty power. It's as it is written. He puts a nation up just to overthrow them, to show his power. Right? Now, you heard that we was taken up out of Egypt. Let me get this. Jeremiah 16, verse 14 and 15. I love these 2 verses, man. Cause y'all, most folk can't explain what this talking about.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
It shall not be said anymore that the Lord liveth, that brought y'all up out of Egypt. Why? Because y'all ain't in Egypt no more. Go ahead.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
The land of the north. North America. Go ahead.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again unto their land.
And then that day, this hasn't happened yet. This hasn't happened yet. And in that day, he's going to take us back to our land. Go ahead.
And I will bring them into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
That was the promised land. Promised land. From the Nile to the Euphrates. Not that nothing they call Israel today. The Nile to the Euphrates. How else you going to place an innumerable amount of people over there? They say the Jewish man is a small amount of people. How's that an innumerable amount? How's that the sand of the sea? How's that the stars of the heavens?
But
we'll believe them because they got power. We'll believe them because everybody else believes them. Man, it's crazy when I hear, like, I listen to the Christian radio station, man, and they be talking about how, and we're going to have somebody speak live from Israel. Live from Israel. This is going to be an awesome time. They're going to be at the Republican Convention Center, RCN, RNC, or whatever.
That part.
And they're gonna talk, and we got to be able to come together with our Israel brothers. It's like, nigga, why y'all killing the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the real Israelites? But they don't believe you. They don't. And let me show you, man. Even if they did believe you, it doesn't matter. They know their fate. So they don't have to bless you. They don't have to bless you. They know they destined for destruction. So they don't have to do anything good for you. Whatever good happens to you is the Most High's will. And whatever bad happens to you is the Most High's will.
All praises.
That white man don't owe you nothing besides his blood.
That's right.
And that's only because the Most High said so. At the end of the day, what have we done to deserve anything better than what we're getting now? What have we done to correct our ways? When have we said to ourselves, you know what? It's about time we celebrate our birthday, living another year, although we lived like niggas for the last 30 of them. You happy you alive today for what? What have you done? What was your contribution to society, to the black and Hispanic plight? What have you done? That's it on that?
Unless you want the Fishers.
Nah. Because we're going to fish, and we fishing every week, right? But guess what? When that day come, we're going to be hunting too. You know what I'm saying? Most High willing, he don't take the spirit off these brothers, but instead put the spirit of hatred and wrath and anger on these brothers in that day.
That's right.
You understand? To where they won't cry or be scared to bash a little Edomite big watermelon head up against some rock. You understand? Because a lot of us ain't got it today. That's why we still going through this. We say, well, he should have just put his hands up. I mean, we get that. We get that. Why? Because we know the end result when you don't do it. I'd rather you go home that night. You got kids. But they're going to do what they got to do. And if you pull away from them, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. No remorse. But guess what? He's paralyzed right now. He ain't die.
Right.
7 shots to the spine.
Cold game.
Niggas say, what they thought he was? 50 Cent?
Man.
It's going to, like, bruh, you watch them and they grab his shirt and one hand on the shirt, the other hand on the trigger. What is it? You telling me you're not trained to shoot if you see a gun?
Right.
You're only trained to shoot if somebody moves? Bro.
They shooting off instinct.
Instinct. But they say that's justifiable in their line of duty. You're telling me, hey, that's why all praise to the Most High for that black cop shooting that white wench.
All praises.
The one that did the front flip.
She did do a front flip.
She did a front flip.
She did a front flip.
Nigga. Oh, yeah? I got you, nigga. Yeah, man. Let me get Jeremiah 3:22. Nigga. All right, then. All right, keep playing that.
Man, she got it
Keep playing
all.
that. Hey, that man had a firearm. You know what I'm saying? A firearm. You think he playing? He been waiting to run across one of them.
Come.
You don't think everybody waiting to run across one of them? I bet they watch their mouth in them open carry states.
Right.
I bet they watch themselves there. This nigga, these people's crazy. Go ahead, man.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3:22. Return, ye backsliding children.
That's what you need to do. That's how you get salvation. You got to return to the Most High. That's what it is to repent, to return, turn back. Go ahead.
And I will heal your backsliding.
And he will heal our backsliding. Go ahead.
Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art the Lord our God.
For thou art Yahweh our power.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why we got to turn back. Because without that power, we ain't got none. We trying to fight the system through the courts. We trying to fight our enemies through the court system. Who you trust in? Your public offender?
Esau like a mug.
That part. You think their interest is really to make sure you in the best position? No, man. Everything is about money. And now that COVID popping off, all it is money. That's it on that, right? Let me get
Yeah, that was
Sirach
it.
13 and 14. Oh, you say what?
That was it. That was it.
Come on. Let me get Sirach 13 and 14. My feet are killing me.
You chasing them chihuahuas all day.
Chihuahuas chasing me, man.
Hey, that part. We there. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 14. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation.
Read that again.
Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation.
That part. Love the Lord all your life, and call upon him for your salvation. Right? Okay. Love the Lord all your life, and call upon him for your salvation. Let me get Micah 4. Go ahead, start from the top.
It's the book of Micah 4 from the top. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Read it again.
But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord.
We coming upon the last day. We in the last days. Right? Go ahead.
That the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Go ahead. At the top of the mountains. That's over every other government. Okay. Over every nation. Right? Read.
And it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it.
And people shall flow unto it. Right? Read.
And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And he will.
The God of who?
The God of Jacob.
Nah, the God of everybody.
The God of Jacob.
The God of the Gentiles.
The God of Jacob.
The God of the heathen.
The God of Jacob.
The God of Esau.
The God of Jacob.
Moab.
Jacob.
Ammon.
The God of Jacob.
Ham.
The God of Jacob.
Canaan.
The God of Jacob.
Y'all can put all those nations there, but he said he's the God of who?
Damn, nigga, the God of Jacob.
That part. Go ahead.
And he will teach us of his ways.
He will teach what?
He will teach us of his ways.
That's the law. The law that nobody care about no more. The law people are telling you don't worry about it. Go ahead.
And we will walk in his path.
That part.
For the law shall go forth from Zion.
Yeah.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Keep going.
And he shall judge among many people. And strong rebuke, Salakia, and rebuke strong nations afar off.
Go ahead.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
That's how you know those are not Israelites in the land of Israeli.
Bring that out.
That's how you know it. You can't read this to a Christian, though. What does it matter to them? This is prophecy. This is what's supposed to be happening now. Because they in the land. What is it? A 40-year Exodus? 60-year Exodus?
60 now.
60-year Exodus? La, the water.
No, that's 70 years.
Bro, from 1948?
Yeah, they got the land in 48.
Hey, what No Swag say? 1948, you know.
Some was great.
Yahweh's people are great. Yeah. I woke up late. Yeah. I think I'm 8.
Man.
Hold up, wait. This is straight. Life is great.
Man.
I go to the beach and I swim by the lake.
Man.
You know that? Roaches. Go ahead, man.
Man.
Crazy, man.
Hey.
But that's who y'all listen to, right? That's who y'all. That's where you get your inspiration from. Go ahead.
It's Micah 4 and 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
The pruning hooks, read.
Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation.
Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation. But yet, y'all still looking for peace in the Middle East.
Hey, they bombing people.
Hey, when did the phrase peace in the Middle East come about? When they was over there. When is there peace in the Middle East?
Iraq, when they were saying that? Iraq war in the 90s?
All that, man.
Yeah.
All that. Way back, yeah. Hey, Hitler had the right idea. Peace in Germany. Peace in Poland. You know what I'm saying? Peace in Auschwitz. Go ahead.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Say it with your chest, man. Come on, man. We just talked about the Holocaust. Say it.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
That's what's supposed to be happening. There shouldn't be no more wars on the earth. Nobody should be warring no more. But the Christian church telling you that they the new Jerusalem, they the new Israelites. They the new God's people. Hey, Kirk Franklin, they the new God's property. But they don't understand when they really gonna be God's property.
Captivity.
You know what I'm saying? Then we gonna come out with the next song, Stomp. That's what Yahweh Shai gonna do in that wine press. Stomp. Go ahead, man.
But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree.
Go ahead.
And none shall make them afraid.
And we shall never be afraid again. We shall never be afraid again. We ain't got to watch over our backs. Me and my rib was watching a movie. Black kid was walking down the street, going into the woods. My rib's like, why he ain't looking back? I was like, because he grew up in a white area.
That part.
He ain't have to worry about them things. He ain't thinking somebody following him. Go ahead, man.
For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. For all people will walk, every one, in the name of his God.
Everyone shall walk in the name of what?
Of his God.
His God. The Most High don't need them other nations to follow him. They just got to keep the law. That's it. Go ahead.
And we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever.
For what?
Forever and ever.
No. Say it slowly, bro.
Forever and ever.
And ever, which means what? When you see forever and ever, it means for all eternity.
Now stop.
And that's it on that. All right. I don't take questions. I don't care what anybody think. You know what I'm saying? This is Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? The Wolf Pack. You know, I like to thank Chief Priest Elazar Bun Lawyer for letting us bang out on his station. You know.
Shalom, shalom.
What'd it say? Yeah. Cash App, man. Do that. Don't be scared. Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Hey, take the plate around there. Take the plate. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yo, it's always love. This is Long Beach Wolfpack coming to you again for another segment on the Couch Captivity Created. Right? Y'all need to continue watching the other lives that the other members of SICARRI have. You know, especially Deacon's page. You know what I'm saying? Especially Chief Priest Alazar's page. All right. Hassad be putting out that fire. All right. Y'all continuously watch, continuously donate if you could. You know what I'm saying? This is the work, man. This is the work we put in. You know what I'm saying? With that, I want to say Yabashana Shabakata and Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, and Kingdom Tassels. Y'all get them. Get them Kingdom Tassels.
Plug.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell y'all, hold on. Kingdom Tassels. Let me show y'all something, right? If you want to keep that royalty, you got to learn to live with loyalty. All right? Kingdom Tassels all the way. All right? Shalom. Don't say nothing. We still live, y'all.